Welcome to the June update of the New Haven Willoughby line. I was hoping to get a lot more done, but I do have a bunch of little things to show you, so stick around. Okay, so I've been working on a bunch of tiny little projects. One was getting the trucks on both the powered unit here, GP9, and the dummy. I think it's off the tracks here. Probably still is. But I got all the truck details on there and weathered. They look pretty good on the track. They're probably not 100% to my liking as far as the coloring and weathering, but they're a lot better than they were. So that was one little project I worked on. I've been working on signage for my buildings on this section here. I've got the WV Whipple. I think it was from the Brain Center at Whipples. It was a Twilight Zone episode where he had a huge company and automated everything, laid off all his employees and like everything. I forget the outcome of what that was, but that was from that episode, Whipple. So that's the equipment and parts. And then there was another episode where this guy's last name Finchley, he had all these machines coming after him at the end of the episode. He was obsessed with machines or something, I forget. So this is going to be the Finchley machine parts industry. This is just a little town industry. It's not a trackside one. It's not serviced by any rail. So the Whipple one is, and then the dairy scratch-built structure that I did in the last update is there. If anybody's got any tips for the signage, I know a lot of people print things out and then they sand it so it's thinner, so it takes on the texture behind it or underneath it once you apply it. I put I think I just used the Mod Podge matte glue on here, but maybe because it's inkjet, it blurred. I'm trying an experiment. Maybe you have to use laser jet. Maybe that's what helps. I know with image transferring, though, I think things have to be inkjet. Or maybe I'm confusing the wordage, but I know with transfers, it has to be one, which is a little bit more commercial than the other. Maybe the ones that we have typically at home are inkjets and they need to be laser jet. But what I did with this one, I'm going to apply it the same way with the glue, but I used a Rust-Oleum matte spray on this one. So hopefully the glue, once I apply it, won't run the ink on that as easily. So I'll let you know in the next update, hopefully, if I remember how that comes out. I will probably put a rooftop structure sign, a rooftop sign for the dairy on this side here. The back one I may just leave, I'm not sure. I think I fooled around with some of the colors on it too. I wasn't really pleased with the black and yellow. And then this one, I scratch built that little sign there. I need to get shingles for the two roofs, and then I'm going to take this off and finish it and reinstall it once I get the shingles on there. So that's in the near future. But I'm pretty pleased with the way that came out. It looks pretty good. I just need cross bracing from the back to the, farther back, some bracing. So once I get the shingles and they're weathered, I will finish that sign, but I'm pretty pleased with that. So I will probably construct something very similar for this side for the dairy. I might want to do another sign or two over here on this side here. I used some water decals for the shipping and main entrance sign, which don't look terrible. For some reason, this sign didn't smudge as much as the black one did. It could be the different inks too. I don't know. But I've been working on the signage, and I've been using the program Canva. There's commercials for it. As an art teacher during the pandemic, I used that with my students exclusively, and it's a great little program. Extremely limited, but sometimes when you have limitations, it yields the most creativity. But it's super quick and easy, and that's what I use for all of my signage. The other little area that I've been working on is this Hilltop section here. I need to kind of fill in the gaps underneath there. I didn't realize how much you can kind of see the stairs and foundation don't sit flush. I need to double check and make sure things are level, but I need to kind of fill in those gaps. But I've been working on the fence and the static grass. I got my static grass applicator working again. Not that it wasn't, but I got it up and going, and I'm pretty pleased with the way this section is coming out. It needs a lot more foliage, some trees, but that's looking really nice. As far as the ballast, I haven't gotten anything more done, I don't think, but I did fill in this area here and filled in the gap that was here. You can see there's, I used thin wood that I had from leftover kits and made a brace or a frame around, and then filled in the majority of it with actual dirt, and then put ballast on top, and it fills in that section nicely. This side here I still need to do, but you can see the gap between the wood and the roadbed and then the actual bridge. So that's what I had here. On this side it was a lot bigger. As you can see, it's a bigger gap, so I need to finish that. And what else? Oh, I started to custom paint this old blue box, and I will probably get a decoder for it. I'm actually pretty pleased with the way it's come out. It looks pretty good. It needs some touching up, but I think, and it needs decals, but I think overall it came out pretty good. And so I need decals and to touch it up, and then and a decoder, and maybe I can get this guy running on the layout soon. So that's pretty exciting. So I think that's pretty much it for the update. I've had limited operating sessions on here. I need to take another look at this guy here. The 44 tonner sounds terrible. I think it might have cracked gears. It might need to be relubricated. It looked like it had a ton of lubrication on there. I didn't give it a full cleaning. It's small and obviously, and a pain to work on. So, and the motors are small because there's two of them in there, but I need to work on that. So that's one thing. I've got the summer off now as a teacher, so I've got a lot of little projects to work on and plenty of time, so that's exciting. And then I start to work on some trackside junk, which I will probably work on later today after I get this update out. But I'm just going through my scraps and picking up different pieces and starting to work on those. I've got a bunch of wheels that I need to do something with and axles, so scatter stuff around either on this section here or a few more things in the yard. The yard is looking a little too clean, so I need to add some more stuff in there. And I think that's about it. I forget, I think the last update I came and showed the Canamit food sign there. So I'm pretty pleased with the way that works out. So I'm starting to get the structures set up so that I know where everything is going to be. Those two industries are still yet to be determined. I think one of them is going to be a clock factory, though, on the near track. I think in front of those tanker cars, that's going to be a clock factory. And then I'm not sure about the one in the back. And then I've got a kit in mind for this section here where the track goes into the building. Actually, it's got a covered loading area or unloading area. So since this part would be covered, it will help visually kind of hide that this track just ends, because it'll kind of go into the building, and then the tracks for the main line will go behind it and hopefully disguise that a little bit. And then I'm thinking of adding another factory or two on this section here I kind of wanted to leave initially this section kind of open, but now that I've got these two tracks and this one ends right here, I kind of want to disguise this a little bit more and have the train kind of go behind and then come back out. So I'm kind of playing around with some ideas for that. So that's going to wrap it up for this episode, or this update. Tried not to ramble too much, but I think that's it. I think I got through everything I wanted to get done on this update. So have a great June, beginning of July, and we'll see you back here in July. So take care, be well.